Good day everyone. This is Engineer Ray S.A. Rimando and I will be discussing the lesson number 2 of the pre-stress concrete design subject entitled Working Stress Analysis and Design. The working stress method is one of the traditional approaches used in the design of concrete structure, including pre-stress concrete and based on service loads. The main principle is to ensure that stresses in the material, both concrete and steel, remain within allowable limit during normal service conditions, ensuring the structure functions without failure or excessive deformation. Basically, we have these three general principles of pre-stressed concrete. The stresses to be considered in the pre-stressed concrete are those due to number 1, due to the direct compressive force by the tendons. Number 2, the moment due to the eccentricity of the pre-stressing force. And the number 3, the flexural or bending stress due to the external loadings. Okay, so ano nga ba ang principle of pre-stressing? So, basic concept tayo muna. No? Ang first concept is basic concept. Ito ay simplified approach used to determine the internal stresses in pre-stressed concrete member by considering the combined effect of pre-stressing force and the external loading. So considering we have here a simply supported beam, tapos assuming na yung tendon natin below siya sa neutral axis. Okay? So ito yung ating neutral axis. And of course, yung ating beam ay meron din siyang neutral axis dito. Lagay na lang natin NA. Okay? So, sabi niyan, ito ay below. So, lagyan natin siya ng tendons dito. Of course, hindi naman natin mai-erect ang ating tendons kung wala tayo ditong anchorage. So, both side, maglalagay tayo dito ng tinatawag natin na anchorage. So, ano yung ibig sabihin ng anchorage? So, ang anchorage, siya yung nagme-maintain nung placement nung tendons. Of course, yung tendon initially, hindi natin siya magkakaroon ng compressive force kung hindi natin siya hahatakin muna, no? Using our initial pre-stressing force. Na ang gumagawa niyan or ang reason niyan or cause niyan is yung ating hydraulic jack. Siya yung magbibigay sa atin ng initial na pre-stressing force. Ngayon, ang principle ng ating pre-stressing, yung tendons natin, kapag hinatak siya ng hydraulic jack, tapos ang concept niya parang rubber band. Di ba pag hinatak natin yung rubber band, elastic siya, hahaba yung length niya. Tapos kapag naman binitawan natin yung rubber band, magkakaroon siya ng shrink or kaya babalik siya dun sa dati niyang position. Tapos magkakaroon tayo ng compressive force. Okay? So kaya from here, pwede nating sabihin na meron tayong pre-stressing or pre-stress force. Ayan, pre-stressing force P on both side dyan sa ating tendons. Okay? So ngayon, yun yung ating mini-maintain ng ating anchorage. Okay? So from here, we have the pre-stressing force P. Of course, may distance yung ating force, yung pre-stressing force natin from the centroidal or the neutral axis. So ilalagay natin siya as our eccentricity or E. Okay? Okay? So kapag nagkaroon tayo ng stresses or flexural bending due to the external loads, pwedeng mag-deflect yung ating beam. Okay? So from here, pwede nating i-assume na yung beam ay nag-deflect. Tapos yung ating neutral axis, of course, same pa rin siya. But on the top fiber, nag-compress siya. So, pwede natin lagyan dito ng letter C because nag-compress siya at yung ating bottom fiber naman ay na-tense or nagkaroon ng tension. Okay? So, ngayon, sabi doon sa ating three general principle of pre-stress, kailangan meron tayong flexural stress due to the external loadings. So, sabi ko nga, pwede tayong maglagay dito ng mga uniform distributed load. So, kunyari, yung self-weight of the beam or kaya naman yung ating mga dead loads or yung ating mga live loads. So, pwede dito yung self-weight at saka yung dead load plus yung live load. Okay? So, of course, pagka ganyan, pwede nyo kunin kung saan magkakaroon ng moment, no? Saang part? Sa mid-span ba or sa support ba siya magkakaroon ng maximum moment? Okay? So, meron tayong diagram na i-connect natin sa ating formula. Okay? So, kapag kinuha natin yung ating bending or flexural stress due to the external loadings, pwede tayong mag-illustrate pag ganito. Okay? Kunyari, meron tayong negative MPa sa ating top fiber at meron naman tayong negative MPa sa ating bottom fiber. Then, ipa-plus natin ngayon yung ating stresses due to naman sa compressive force by the tendons. So, dahil iyan ay axial, so this is negative MPa on the top and negative MPa on the bottom. Then i-add natin ngayon yung moment due to the eccentricity of the pre-stress. So, sabi sa ating rules, kapag yung ating flexural stress daw ay always siya na opposite doon sa ating moment due to the eccentricity of the pre-stress. So, ngayon, yung ating illustration would be, of course, yung ating top fiber naman ay makaka-experience ng positive megapascal, wherein yung ating bottom fiber naman ay makaka-experience ng negative megapascal. Okay? So, kunin natin yung resultant niyan. By the way, ito ay illustration lang. So, parang ganyan yung makukuha natin dyan. So, ang goal natin dito, yung ating bottom fiber ay malesen natin yung kanyang tension. Okay? Kasi nga, alam natin na ang concrete ay hindi niya kaya mag-resist ng tension. Okay, so sometimes merong nakukuha ditong value, pag malapit siya sa 0, mas safe siya. So habang lumalayo siya sa 0, mas nagiging siyang safe naman pero hindi na siya cost effective. Okay, so dito tayo sa general formula. So ito yung ating gagamitin sa ating mga problems. Okay, so we have F is equals to our flexural stress due to the external loadings. Di ko here positive or negative MC over I. So ano yung M? Yung M natin dyan ay yung moment na makukuha natin dun sa maximum moment due to the external loadings. Yung loadings natin, pwede siyang self-weight of the beam, pwede siyang dead load, pwede siyang live load. Ano naman yung C? Ang C natin is the distance from the top or bottom fiber or yung farthest distance. So kung ito yung beam natin, yan. So ito yung ating neutral axis. Yung C natin is ito. Okay? Yung ibang references may nakalagay siya na sub T and yung iba naman meron din ditong sub B. Okay? So ibig sabihin, yan yung C on the top fiber and C on the bottom fiber. Okay, so ano naman yung I sa denominator? I is the moment of inertia, okay, of the beam. Then after that, i-add din natin yung ating direct compressive force by the tendons. So this would be negative P over A. So ano yung A? A is the pre-stressing force, wherein yung A is the cross-sectional area of the beam. Okay? And then i-add ulit natin yung moment due to the eccentricity of the pre-stress. So plus or minus PEC over I. So ano yung P? Again, P is the pre-stressing force. E is the eccentricity or yung distance from, ito yun. Distance, asan na yun? Ito. Distance from the P or pre-stressing force from the neutral axis times the distance ng neutral axis to the farthest fiber over sa ating moment of inertia. So, ito yung ating gagamitin na formula. Okay? Although we have here for the rectangular section, pero pa this equals to positive or negative 6m over, 6 dyan is constant, over BD squared minus P over BD plus or minus 6PE over BD squared. So, ating rectangular section. Okay? Now, let us come to the stages of the pre-stressing. So una, meron tayong initial state or a transfer. This is the moment when the pre-stressing force is initially applied to concrete. Meaning, nag-o-occur lang siya right after the tendons are tensioned and the formwork is removed, or kumbaga yung concrete ay na-cured na, and at this point the concrete has not yet undergone significant load bearing or service condition. So pwede nating sabihin na in this state, yung initial state at transfer, yung ating pre-stressing force is equal pa sa kanyang initial pre-stressing force. At yung ating moment here is equals to 0. Now, for the initial state naman after transfer, the force or the pre-stressing force has been transferred to the concrete. Kumbaga, kung kanina wala pa siyang significant load bearing, pero dito sa after transfer, meron na, no? The concrete starts to carry the pre-stress loads. In this stage, the period immediately following the transfer of stress from the tendons to the concrete until the structure is in service. Kumbaga, yung structure dito has not yet been subjected to any external load, sa live load, dead loads, pero yung concrete natin, nagre-react na siya doon sa initial force and doon sa ating self-weight. Kaya pwede nating sabihin na at this initial state after transfer, same pa rin naman yung ating pre-stressing force sa ating initial pre-stressing force, but yung ating moment is just equals to the moment of the self-weight o yung ating bigat ng ating beam. Now, for the third state or the final state, ang tinatawag natin siyang at service loads, ito naman yung nag-o-occur after the pre-stressed concrete member has been subjected to the normal working loads or yung tinatawag natin na service load that it will experience during its service life. It represents the state where the pre-stressed concrete member is fully loaded with service loads, taking into account all, lahat na, no, kasali na lahat ng pre-stresses, kasali yung mga losses, okay? So dun sa ating lesson 1, meron tayong initial na introduction about pre-stress losses, no? Yun yung mag-o-occur over time, especially the final effective pre-stressing force acting on the concrete. So ito naman yung condition na most critical for assessing the performance of the concrete. So over time, syempre pag nagkakaroon tayo ng losses sa pre-stress, bumababa or nagkakaroon ng decrease due to the factor like yung creep natin, yung shrinkage natin ng concrete or slippage of tendons. Okay, yung final state considers this loss of pre-stress and its effect on the overall performance of the element. And then pre-stress loss needs to be accounted for in the design to ensure that the element continues to perform effectively under service condition. Kaya nga tayo nagkakaroon na ng nagre-reduce tayo sa effective pre-stressing force. So, ano naman yung under-service load? So, external loads such as yung dead load natin, yung live load natin, or any other loads, na-apply na siya dito sa pre-stress concrete element na ito at the final state. So, these loads combine with the previously applied pre-stress force influencing the overall stress at saka yung strain distribution natin within the concrete element. So, dahil nga sabi ko kanina, pwede na ditong magkaroon ng losses. So, we can say that sometimes yung ating P here is just equals to the PI or kung PI man siya or PE na namumultiply natin or babawasan natin siya ng losses. So, paano tayo magbawas ng loss? I-minus lang natin siya doon sa ating original na pre-stress force. So, that will be multiplied 1 o quantity 1 minus yung percent ng ating losses. So, halimbawa, kunyari, meron tayong pre-stressing force na 2,000 kilonewton. Tapos, meron tayong 5% na losses. So, ang mangyayari dyan is will be 2,000 kilonewton multiplied by 1 minus yung 5% natin. So, of course, bababa yung ating value ng ating pre-stressing force. And that will be equal sa ilan na lang. Siyempre, nagbawas na tayo. So, that would be yung P natin na 19 kilonewton. Okay? So, dahil nga, sabi natin kanina, meron tayong loss of pre-stress. And of course, yung ating moment here will be equals to yung moment ng total na ha. Total means that is from the moment ng self-weight plus yung moment ng dead load plus yung moment ng live load or kung ano pa man na merong mga imposed loads dyan sa ating beam. Okay? Now, let us come to the solving of these illustrative problems. Working example using basic concept method. For situation number 1, a pre-stressed concrete beam having a cross-section of 500 millimeter as the width of the beam times 800 millimeter as the height of the beam is subjected to a pre-stressing force of 1950 kilonewton. So, ang ating P would be 1,950 kilonewton acting on the parabolic tendons. By the way, yung iba't ibang profile ng parabolic tendons ay nasa ating module 1. So, you can just review on that particular matter. Okay? So, the beam carries a uniform dead load of 24.8 kilonewton. So, magdagdag tayo dito ng 24.8 kilonewton na dead load to, no? So, malamang yung dead load natin dyan, uniformly distributed, that is 24.8 kilonewton per meter. Sabi dyan, excluding its own weight. Okay, so ngayon, dahil sinabing excluded yung ating own weight, kailangan hanapin natin yon, 'di ba? Kasi sabi natin kanina on the service load, meron tayong moment ng service or ng self-weight, katulad din sa ating after transfer sa initial state, 'di ba? So kailangan natin kunin yung moment due to the self-weight ng ating beam. Okay? So, and uniform live load, may nagdagdag pa dito, uniform live load of 11.4 kilonewton naman. So, meron tayong, dito ko nalagay, dead load na 24.8 kilonewton meter at saka live load na 11.4 kilonewton meter. Actually, itong dalawang ito ay nakapatong yan dyan sa ating beam. Meron pa, sabi dyan, consider 8% loss. So, papasok tayo dun sa ating third state na may nakalagay na losses sa ating pre-stressing force at service loads. So, calculate for the top and bottom stress felt by the pre-stressed concrete beam under the initial state and final state at the mid-span section. Okay? So, alam natin na dahil dyan sa mga loading na yan, even yung ating self-weight, magbe-bend yung ating beam, di ba? So, lagyan natin to ng deflection dyan. So, we can say that yung ating orientation ng beam or convention ng ating beam due to the external loading would be compression at the top and tension at the bottom. So, ang compression natin ay negative at yung tension natin ay positive. Saan nga ito? Dito, ito ay due to external loading ito. So, ano naman kapag due to eccentricity? So, pag due to eccentricity naman ito, baliktad tayo dyan, ano? So, malamang kasi ika-counteract ng ating tendons, okay? Yung ating bending due to the external loading. So, ang mangyayari dyan, baliktad naman siya, pag ganyan, wherein yung ating top fiber will be experiencing tension, positive, at saka yung ating bottom fiber will experience compression, negative. Okay? So, ano yung first step na gagawin natin dyan? So, una, kunin muna natin yung moment at midspan. Alam naman natin na along the way, sa midspan tayo magkakaroon ng pinakamataas na moment. Okay? So, ano ang i-consider natin dyan? So, i-consider natin yung, sabi kasi kanina, excluded yung beam weight. So, yung beam weight, doon natin kukunin yung ating moment. Okay? So, due to the beam weight. So, meron tayong formula. Maximum moment on the midspan is equals to the WL squared over 8. Ano yung W dito? So, ang W dito is the load imposed on the beam. So, dito, in this case, yung beam weight muna, no? So, this would be equals, ano ba yung unit weight ng concrete. So that would be 23.5 kilonewton per cubic meter. Okay? Multiplied natin to by the cross-section nung ating beam plus yung L natin. O meron tayong span na 10 meter, baka makalimutan natin yan. So multiply natin to by 0.5 meter, yan yung ating width. At saka multiply natin ng 0.8 meter yung ating depth multiplied by 10 meters. And of course, i-squared natin yan based on the formula. All over natin siya by 8. Now, we can get here the moment or maximum moment due to the beam weight, and that is equals to 117.5 kilonewton meter. Okay? Siyempre, cancelled natin to, no? At isa na lang ang matitira dyan. So, kilonewton meter na tayo dyan. Moment. Okay? So, next would be solve the initial state. So, dito naman tayo sa initial state at mid-span. Okay, so with the formula F is equals to, i-arrange natin siya based dun sa ating convention dahil yung ating due to extending external loading nga, negative siya on the top fiber at saka positive siya on the bottom fiber. So that will be negative sa taas, positive sa baba na MC over I. Then yung ating actual load which is P over A plus yung ating due to eccentricity which is positive on the top and negative on the bottom, PEC over I. Okay? So, dahil meron na tayong moment na nakuha natin due to the self-weight of the beam, yun yung gagamitin nating M dito. So, that would be MC over I is equals to 117.5. Of course, naka-kilonewton meter siya. So, multiplied natin siya by 10 raised to 6. Bakit 10 raised to 6? Kasi yung 10 raised to 3, 1,000 yan. 1,000 para sa kilonewton, tsaka 1,000 para sa meter. Para maging newton meter. Multiplied by yung C natin which is, ano ba yung C natin? Kalahati ng ating beam. Okay? Ng ating height ng beam. So, that would be 400 millimeter. All over natin ang ating moment of inertia ng rectangle, that is BD cube over 12 or BH cube. Okay? So that would be 500 multiplied by 800 cube all over. So kunin natin yan at ang sagot natin dyan is 2.203 megapascal. Again, yung ating top fiber is negative at yung ating bottom fiber is positive. Okay, next. Kunin naman natin yung ating axial. Okay, so that would be equals to P over A. Negative P over A. So, ang P natin ay, ano yung P kanina? 1,950 kilonewtons. So, multiply natin siya by 10 raised to 3. All over yung area ng, or cross-section area ng ating beam, which is 500 millimeter multiplied by 800 millimeter. And we can get our P over A, that is equals to negative 4.875 megapascal. Next, doon naman tayo sa ating PEC or yung ating due to eccentricity. Okay? So, meron bang binanggit kanina kung ano yung eccentricity natin? So, tingnan natin dito. Okay, so ito pala. Meron tayong eccentricity na 250. So, yun yung ating gagamitin dito. So, PEC over I. So, ang P natin is 1,950 times 10 raised to 3. Multiplied yung 250 natin na eccentricity. Multiplied yung ating 400 mm na C or yung distance ng neutral axis to the farthest na fiber. Okay? So, divided by yung ating moment of inertia, which is 500 ulit multiplied by 800 cube all over 12. At makukuha natin yung sagot na 9.14 megapascal. Okay? Wherein yung ating top fiber would be positive at saka negative naman yung ating bottom fiber. So in this case, yung ating top fiber, i-add na lang natin siya, no? So that would be negative 2.203 megapascal minus 4.875 megapascal plus 9.14 megapascal. So yun yung ating sa top fiber natin, no? So that would be equals to 2.062 megapascal. So positive siya, so meaning that is tension. Okay? So dito naman tayo sa bottom, that is positive 2.203, negative 4.875, then negative 9.14. So i-add natin yan to get the answer. Yung ating bottom fiber will experience negative 11.812 megapascal. So negative siya, so meaning compression siya, negative. So ito yung ating sagot. Okay? Next will be on the final state at mids pa naman tayo. Okay, so sabi natin yung P is not equal sa PI kapag nagkaroon na ng losses at saka kapag na-impose na yung mga loadings. So that would be P is equal siya sa yung P natin or i-multiplied natin siya by 1 minus yung percentage ng loss or losses. Okay? So, dito pa lang makukuha natin na yung ating P value is just equals to 1950 kilonewton multiplied by 1 minus 8%. So, 8%. Ayan. So, of the losses. So, makukuha natin na ating bagong pre-stressing force ngayon sa final state would be 1,794 kilonewton. So, take note of this. Baka makalimutan nyo yung ating consider 8% loss of pre-stress at service load. Now, for the moment, ang moment natin is moment total. Yun yung from the consider natin yung weight ng concrete plus yung weight ng dead load plus yung weight ng live load. Tapos, i-multiply natin siya by yung span natin squared. All over natin siya by 8. So, ngayon, yung total moment natin would be equal siya sa, i-add muna natin yung mga weight. Okay? So, bago yan, add muna natin yung weight. Weight, total weight is equal siya sa concrete muna, 23.5 multiplied by 0.5 multiplied by 0.8. Okay, so plus na lang natin 24.8 plus 11.4 para naman sa ating live load. So this would be equals to 45.6. Okay, 45.6 kilonewton meter. Yon yung gagamitin natin sa ating maximum total moment. So that would be WL squared over 8, 45.6 multiplied by 10 squared, yung ating span all over yung 8 natin. So this will be 570 kilonewton meter. Okay? So that would be our moment. Now let us come to the MC over I. Okay? So MC over I. Using this moment na 570 times 10 raised to 6 multiplied yung ating C which is 400 all over yung ating moment of inertia which is 500 multiplied by 800 cube all over 12. So we can get now the answer of 10.6875 megapascal. Again, negative on the top and positive on the bottom. Next would be our PA. Okay, so PA, ang P natin nagbago, 1794 na lang, multiplied by 10 raised to 3. Okay, all over yung ating area which is 500 multiplied by 800. So this would be negative 4 kasi negative yan, 4.485 megapascal. Okay? Next would be for the PEC over I. Okay? Yung P natin or pre-stressing force would be 1794,000 or 10 times 3 multiplied by E, which is 250, multiplied by C, which is 400, all over yung moment of inertia, which is 500 times 800 cube all over 8. Now we can get now the value of 8.409375 megapascal. Okay? So, kung saan yung ating top fiber na positive at saka yung ating bottom fiber is negative. Now, combine natin siya to get the resultant. Okay? So, FT would be, ilan to? Negative 10.6875 minus 4.485 plus 8.41. 41 na lang para konti. Okay? So, this would be equals to negative 6.763 megapascal. Okay? So, negative. So, meaning compression siya. Next, for the bottom fiber naman, positive 10.6875 minus 4.485 minus 8.41. Okay? So, we can get now the value of negative 2.207 megapascal. At ito ay naka-under din siya sa compression. Okay? So, as you can see, parehong compression yung nakuha natin sa final state. Okay? Merong compression na negative 2.207. Okay? So, that concludes our first problem.